Introducing Fujifilm XF 18mm 1.4 RLMWR. This lens is the most elite lens optically Fujifilm has ever produced, and that's putting it lightly, and that's on 40 megapixels. I've had this lens since launch day 2021, and the sharpness, high frequency detail, edge to absolute edge is absolutely stellar on this lens. It is second to none. This lens is so sharp, in fact, that it peaks at f2 and center sharpness actually goes down a little bit at f2 and f2.8. It's absolutely optimized to work at 1.4, and this lens is stunning in its clarity, its extreme high frequency detail, and extreme quality edge to edge. The only downside, I would say, that the lens is so sharp, particularly in the center and 3/4 periphery of the image, that it makes the rest of the image, the edge and the corners, look a little bit soft by comparison. But once you stop down, it pretty much evens out. But this lens hyper excels at any image quality needs, details, loads, demands you might need on a 40 megapixel sensor for landscapes, environmental portraiture, even some light macro work. This lens, the details it resolves is extreme. You can see actual dust on fibers, fibers on fibers, and dust on dust. This lens is crazy in how incredibly strong it reproduces detail. You'll see a lot of the image will be out of focus due to the thin depth of field. You might expect that 28mm f2 equivalent. However, anything in that focus plane is going to stick out, and you're going to see fine dust particles just floating in the air. You're going to see dust on hair if you're shooting pets or people. You're going to see extremely high quality, high detailed pixels on your photos, and you're going to come away amazed. And one other good thing about that is in Lightroom, on top of that already high 40 megapixel image, that high frequency detail helps Lightroom in a super resolution generation of an image to give you even more detail and more pixels, more high frequency details. So it's just the cropping ability, everything just falls in place once you have that high detail. And I've been telling people this for years, that this lens, the quality edge to edge wide open, is unlike anything I've ever seen. And that's why I've had this lens since launch day 2021, and it's now 2025, and I haven't even had any of the slightest urge or inkling to sell it, get rid of it, trade it, or anything. This lens is what keeps me in the X system, and this lens is good enough to switch over to the X system if you're shooting something else. I highly recommend this lens to anyone who craves extremely high detail, high frequency. I just can't say anything bad about this lens. It's just incredibly fun to use. The autofocus is extremely fast, extremely silent, and it's just flawless every single time. This lens is a real gem, and the autofocus area and bokeh are very smooth as well, particularly on items when you're shooting close-up items, close-up subjects. The background just melts and is buttery. Now, if you're shooting medium distance to long distance, and you have any busy areas in the back, the bokeh may be a little bit on the busy side, but this lens isn't really for that. This lens is for up close detail work and environmental portraiture work, semi close up. So if you're just a little bit careful about your backgrounds, you're not going to really run into issues. And I would even say that any instances where you might find a busy background with this lens, they're going to look that much busy with any other lens. So pretty much this lens is just about perfect in every way, and I highly recommend it even at its launch price of $9.99. Great job, Fujifilm.